If you're looking for new mud tires for your truck, the time has never been better. We have a ton of awesome mud tires out there, but sometimes choosing the right one can be difficult. Today, I'm going to give you the 5 criteria that I use when looking for a mud tire and give you a review on the Cooper Discoverer STT PRO that I've been running for about 5,000 miles. What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of Merricks Garage. I am constantly amazed and stoked at the level of technology that is available in our industry. And a lot of the technology that's been developing over the last decade or so is now trickling its way down to us. Tires are a big benefactor of that trickle down. Cooper did provide me a set of the Discoverer STT PROs, 40-inch by 1350 by 17 for the K30 Blazer. I've been running them for about 6 months now. They've got several thousand miles on them, and I thought it was high time that I gave you guys a user review. I'm not a big fan of reviews that basically just talk about how the tire is black and round and holds air. I wanted to put this tire to the test. So, I've taken it out to the John Bull, I've taken it to the Miller Jeep, I've taken it up to the Rubicon, it's been down to the Hammers, and everywhere in between. It's probably got between 6,000 and 8,000 miles on it so far. They've been performing well. There are 5 things that I look for. In no particular order, it will be price, tread design, sidewall, radial, and company history. My last set of tires was the ProComp Extreme MT2. The low price combined with success and high marks in the other categories led me to that tire, and I was incredibly happy with how it performed. Probably number 1 on my list is going to be the tire sidewall. If the tire sidewall is undersized, underprotected, or underdeveloped, I'm going to move on, because that is the Achilles heel for me in a tire. I've had tires fail me because of cuts on the sidewall. I've never had a tire fail me or let me down because the tread pattern on the main of the tire got damaged. It's always been a sidewall. And all of the tires that I see destroyed, whether it's out in the rocks or in the desert, pretty much always because of the sidewall. A strong sidewall is what I'm looking for. And I think you guys should be too if you're doing any sort of rock crawling or any sort of off-road with rocks and sharp edges. A strong sidewall, preferably of a triple ply, so 3 layers of the tire plies on the sidewall, is almost a must. In addition to having a thick and strong sidewall, I'm also looking for those transitional lugs, those sidewall lugs that will be used when the tire is deflated to provide additional traction, abrasion resistance, more stability, or just the ability to wrap around and fold over rocks. So I take a look at not only the main tread area, but I'm really focused on the side lugs. You can tell a lot about a tire's purpose by looking carefully at the side lugs, looking at how they're going to fold when the tire is deflated. Are they going to roll back under themselves, or are they going to fold out and give you that extra traction you need? This is important. This is something that I think people underestimate, but having good lugs on the sidewall provides you not only great protection, but also great handling, great performance, and great traction. So, strong sidewalls, good sidewalls are a must. I want to run a radial with a bias ply tire, which is tires that the plies around the tread are going to be over the top of each other, instead of a radial where it is one continuous loop. But they do not hold their shape as well. They will flat spot if you park for a while there. They can be somewhat unpredictable on the street, and their handling characteristics when they're not off-road are not on the same level as a radial tire. Pretty much any design that you're looking for with minor exceptions, can be found in a radial. There's a reason that people choose those. They generally will last longer, although they might not be quite as durable. For the vast majority of what we're doing, they're plenty durable. They also hold their shape better, they track better down the road, they don't flat spot, and they give you a little bit of a better sidewall, in my opinion. So that's why I always go for a radial. For me and my application, driving on the road to get to trails, the Bi-Sply just is not really a good option for me. Let's just be real. If the tire does not have an aggressive and good-looking tread pattern, I'm not going to pay it as much attention as I probably should. But in the real world, having an aggressive looking tire is high on the list for most of us. Luckily, a lot of the tires out there come with really competent and proven designs. I'm always looking for something that has well spread out lugs. I'm not looking for a consistent, smooth, noiseless tire. I'm looking for something that is designed to bite and grab and to separate and wrap around obstacles like rocks and sand and snow and mud and whatever else I throw at it. So a tire with some science behind the tread design, whether that's interspersed lugs on the side that transition nicely to the sidewall, whether that's a clever lug design on top that gives me a smoother ride but still allows for like good stone ejection and mud clearing. That's important. I do look at that. So a good tread pattern that works, that has some thought into it, is going to raise the bar and put that tire higher up on the list for me. Last, and maybe least on my list, is company history. Company credibility, company longevity. How long has the tire company been in existence? Do they have a robust line of tires? Have they been producing these tires for years? Do they have a good track record with their customer service? Are they involved in motorsports? Do they offer a wide variety of tires, or have they just got one special tire? That gives me the confidence to invest in some new technology or to try a tire that I probably wouldn't normally try. If it comes from a reputable company with tons of history, tons of experience, and tons of technology, I am way more likely to trust it than I am for a newer company. Now, I know that kind of goes without saying and might not be a good consumer characteristic, but it's what my experience has been. And I think it's important to have a company providing you the tires that you know a little bit about. So with all those things, price, tread design, tire sidewall, company history, radial, how do I distill it down to make a selection? Well, obviously, those 5 things thin the herd for me a lot. And it basically gets me down to a handful of tires, all of which will be excellent choices. I'm confident of that because of these 5 things I choose. I chose the Cooper Discoverer STT PRO for a couple reasons. First, the Discoverer STT PRO has been around for a few years. It's trail proven, it's been on tons of rigs, it's very capable, they've got a history of supporting the industry, and they're one of the only companies still producing tires here in the United States. Cooper is a 100-year-old plus company. There may be some other companies out there that are making their tires here. I didn't do a ton of research on it, but I do know that Cooper is, and so that was high marks on my list. I also was impressed with the lug pattern, the lug and tread design. It had an aggressive lug pattern with a lot of technology in it. The way the voids were spaced, the way the scallops were spaced, the way the sidewall lugs transitioned, and the fact that it was triple ply sidewalls and radial kind of sealed the deal for me. So I've had the opportunity to run these tires for about 5,000 miles. They've held up phenomenal. They've done great on the freeway, they've done great in the sand and in the rocks. Let's go take a look at them and I'll show you how they look after some significantly hard use. So the Coopers have about 5,000 on them, and it's been 5,000 hard miles. They've done tons of trails, they've done a lot of freeway, and I'm happy to say they are still round. They have the normal rock rash, and they've got some gouges from all the trails they've been on, but they're still tracking straight down the road, they're still holding air just great, and they are balanced. Considering I balanced myself with airsoft beads, that in itself is a small miracle. But let's take a look at the tread pattern, the sidewalls, and see what we have in terms of, excess wear. Coming in on my driver rear, tread pattern still looks great. There's actual minimal rock rash on this side. That's due to the fact that I actually have trimmed far enough out that they are not getting sliced by the body. You see some rounding off of the edges a little bit. Nothing that surprises me. All in all, excellent looking tire considering what it's been doing for the past 5,000 miles. Now my passenger rear is a different story. I did actually have to do some fender work on the Rubicon because it was rubbing so badly under full bump. And unfortunately you can see that I have sliced quite a few. But that slicing has not led to shearing off. I'm not seeing any chunking. I'm seeing some damage from where I cut it. But in terms of tread popping off, tread chunking, nothing. Very happy with how this tire has been performing and running for me. So would I recommend the Cooper Discoverer STT Pros? Absolutely. Phenomenal tire, decent tread life so far. Noise, who knows? I don't really pay attention to that. But traction off-road, design of the tire, tread strength, and sidewall protection have all been top-notch. There are a lot of good tires out there, you guys. Don't spend too much time obsessing over it. At the end of the day, if you buy from a reputable manufacturer with a long history, you're going to get a good tire. The bigger thing is that you put it to use. So throw those 40s on, get out there, wheel your truck with your family, and make some memories. And go check out my other videos, up here, and all around Merricks Garage.